We all know about the greatness of ancient Rome, majestic forums, Colosseum, aqueducts, and the roads that exist to this day. But what really allowed Rome to expand so vastly? And how did it manage to keep so many territories for thousands of years? Of course, we are talking about the legendary Roman army. What was its main secret? And why was it so powerful for ancient time? Today we will try to find out about this. Enjoy watching. Better to clarify that the Roman army had constantly changed over time. The army of the early Republic and the army of imperial times were very different. The early Roman army was the armed forces of the Roman kingdom and of the early Roman Republic. During this period, when warfare chiefly consisted of small-scale plundering raids, it has been suggested that the army followed Greek models of organization and equipment. The early Roman army was based on an annual levy. Until the establishment of the Roman Republic and the office of consul, the king assumed the role of commander-in-chief. However, from about 508 BC, Rome no longer had a king. The commanding position of the army was given to the consuls, who were charged both singly and jointly to take care to preserve the republic from danger. Until 390 BC, Rome's army was organized similarly to the Greek Phalanx. This was due to Greek influence in Italy by way of their colonies. After the Second Punic War, the Romans acquired an overseas empire, which necessitated standing forces to fight lengthy wars of conquest and to garrison the newly gained provinces. Thus, the army's character mutated from a temporary force based entirely on short-term conscription to a standing army, in which the conscripts were supplemented by a large number of volunteers willing to serve for much longer than the legal 6-year limit. The Roman army of the late Republic marks the continued transition from the conscription-based citizen levy of the mid-Republic to the mainly volunteer, professional standing forces of the imperial era. Under Augustus, there were 28 legions, consisting almost entirely of heavy infantry, with about 5,000 men each, in total 125,000 soldiers. A typical Roman army during this period consisted of 5 to 6 legions. One legion was made up of 10 cohorts. The first cohort had 5 centuria, each of 160 soldiers. In the 2nd through 10th cohorts, there were 6 centuria of 80 men each. These do not include archers, cavalry, or officers. The tactical division of the legion ensured a high level of maneuverability on the battlefield. The legion also included walled and throwing machines and wagons. In the 1st century after Christ, the number of the legion reached almost 7,000 men. Legions were flanked by the auxilia, a corps of regular troops recruited mainly from peregrini, imperial subjects, who did not hold Roman citizenship. Auxilia contained heavy infantry equipped, similarly to legionaries, almost all of the army's cavalry, archers and slingers. The central feature of the Roman army of the mid-Republic was the manipular organization of its battle line. Instead of a single, large mass as in the early Roman army, the Romans now drew up in 3 lines, consisting of small units of 120 men, arrayed in chessboard fashion, giving much greater tactical strength and flexibility. Also, soldiers played an important role outside the military sphere. They performed the function of a provincial governor's police force. As a large, disciplined, and skilled force of fit men, they played a crucial role in the construction of a province's Roman military and civil infrastructure, in addition to constructing forts and fortified defenses such as Hadrian's Wall. They built roads, bridges, ports, public buildings, entire new cities, and also engaged in large-scale forest clearance and marsh drainage to expand the province's available arable land. The Second Punic War saw the addition of a third element to the existing dual Roman structure: non-Italian mercenaries, with specialist skills lacking in the legions, such as Numidian light cavalry, Cretan archers, and slingers from the Balearic Islands. From this time, these units always accompanied Roman armies. By the end of Augustus' reign, the imperial army numbered some 250,000 men. The numbers grew to a peak of about 450,000 by 211 after Christ. It is also worth noting that the Roman army had a special preference for a well-fed soldier, who fights better and is physically stronger in combat. The Roman legion's staple ration of food was wheat. In the 4th century, most legionaries ate as well as anyone in Rome. They were supplied with rations of bread and vegetables, along with meats such as beef, mutton, or pork. Rations also depended on where the legions were stationed or were campaigning. By the end of the Roman Empire, the Roman army returned to regular annual conscription of citizens, while admitting large numbers of non-citizen barbarian volunteers, which in turn led to the barbarization of Rome. At the same time, a substantial proportion of the armies were stationed in the interior of the empire, escorting the emperors. The main point of this story is that once Rome began to rot from constant crisis, then the army followed the same path. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, subscribe, and see you later. Goodbye.